I wrote a chamber opera called Hedon, and it's essentially about someone who is grieving after realizing that they've gone through a life that they are unhappy with addiction and distraction and cognitive dissonance. Playing on something that's very relevant, but also having a humorous element to it.
We're scared or even aware of the wars it would proceed in, and would keep you feeding.
Yes, my love, you don't give up, and you will never change.
So I got to put together my own team of musicians, which was really great. It was really great to see how the music could expand and my ideas also be added to from other perspectives. This project specifically was for the Contemporary Opera Lab, so I got to work with Mel Braun, who is just a fantastic musician. He really brought the vocalist part to life and just the drama behind the piece, and he really cared to bring it to life. So I got a lot of insight that I hadn't had previously, and that was really great. And the composition profs are great here too. They're always willing to help and throw different ideas that you wouldn't think of. Both of them are very different from each other, and they just provide a lot of various perspectives that you might not think of.
Well, the piece, it was a really long process over which it developed. In some ways, the inspiration was the ensemble itself. It's kind of, whenever I set out to write something, I look at the forces that I'm writing for and how to kind of make use of what might be unique to that group of instruments. I wanted to kind of incorporate some of my interest in non-classical music into what I was writing. It wasn't supposed to come across on the surface level, but it was definitely influenced by like techno and to a certain degree jazz. It's always such an interesting thing to hear the first performance of a work, because even if you're at all the rehearsals, and in this case I was, you're so focused on kind of the gears and cogs of making the piece work and listening with the score. It was kind of like I was the rest of the audience hearing the piece for the very first time when I was there. It's really exciting and also kind of nerve-wracking. Yeah, it was a really positive experience. Gordon Fitzell and Örjan Sandred they're both my composition teachers, and they're my co-advisors for my master's. So I worked with both of them. Lessons can range from anything to very wide-ranging kind of theoretical discussions and broad discussions about music in general, to getting really into the nitty-gritty and saying, oh, you've written this here, this is going to make people think this. And then also the percussion professor at the university here, Victoria Sparks, she kind of coordinated the project, and she also played in the ensemble.
It really is up to you where you want to go with it, which is great. You have a lot of freedom in the program, but initially you take general courses, so you're going to take your history and your theory along with other students in the faculty. And then you get to learn about orchestration, which was one of my favorite parts, just learning about the blending of different instruments and different sound characteristics of instruments. And then you, every year, get to write some compositions that there will be musicians that you can put together into an ensemble to workshop with, or there will be musicians that come in as guests that you also get to workshop with, and that's specifically the composition portion of it.
One of the main reasons I wanted to do a master's in composition was just to get more training and be able to work with experts, and also have access to opportunities exactly like this. I mean, you can always study privately with someone, but one of the nice things about studying any art form in a university is having those resources at your disposal. So, having the facilities, and this program is really good for building in opportunities for projects like this, where you get to work with good musicians over a span of time and develop a piece.
So my favorite thing about the program was how many guests that they brought in for lectures, for workshopping our music. In that way, it's a bit of the world coming to you, various perspectives that you wouldn't get otherwise. All this hard work that you put in, and there's so much time, so much rehearsing, and then the performance happens once, and it's all that hard work that you get to see play out, and it's just very reassuring that all that work was contributing to something, not only for yourself but for the whole team, and brought people together. Very great experience.